So for those not familiar, would you mind just giving them a brief introduction into who in the world the wonderful Gusty is?
Yeah, so Gusty Gulas, Birmingham, Alabama. Been the top team leader in the Birmingham market since 2011. Been a part of over 3,000 home sales. Currently run a team of 20 agents, and most importantly, a dad to two boys, and then been married for 17 years. So trying to balance work life and home life is probably my biggest challenge, not Zillow Flex.
I hear you. I'm on year 16 and I got 4. And man, if you figure out the secrets, let me know. Okay.
No doubt.
All right. So, how long have you been a Zillow Flex team leader?
Yeah, we've been on Flex since 2021. And so, we actually, interestingly enough, interviewed twice, did not get it the first round. And then the second round came back around and got the contract. And so it's been, we typically over that 4-year period, we're averaging, I'd say, 6 closings a month from Zillow Flex.
Wow. Okay. And you said team of 20, and I'm curious, 2021, did you say you applied, right, but you said you didn't get it at first. Why do you think that was?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think we probably didn't have the right setup from a support staff standpoint at that time.
Okay.
And so from that, we staffed up a little bit and had to where I think what they were really missing was probably the accountability piece. And so one of the things that we do now is I meet with all of my agents. I meet with some agents once a month. I meet with the majority of my agents every 2 weeks. And then agents that have been with me less than 90 days, I meet with them weekly. And so I'm able to hold them a lot more accountable. I've got my eyes on these leads a lot better than I probably would have previously. So I think that's probably helped, getting the deal, getting the account. And then number 2, it's helping being able to convert at a little bit higher level.
Got it. Were you premier agent before?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been advertising with Zillow since 2009.
Okay, great. And so I get the idea then of the added accountability. I've heard that from a lot of team leaders who went from Premier to Flex. The thing they liked most was the added layer of accountability and metric tracking and the onus it puts on the agents to convert those. Has that been your experience?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And you said you have 20 folks. Now, I'm going to differentiate between your production team and your Zillow Flex team.
Sure.
And I'm going to ask, is there a difference in those people?
Yeah, I've got folks, like, I give it the choice. Like, it's like, if you want to do Flex, great. If you don't, no big deal. Like, okay. And I'll say that some agents do not want to pay the referral fee. And I'm okay with that. Now, I will have folks that will kind of go back and forth in and out of Flex. And I think a lot of it has to do with what does their pipeline look like? Like recently, I mean, I just got out of a one-on-one meeting, and I had somebody that was out of Flex for about 6 months. And based on the last meeting I had a couple of weeks ago, they decided to get back on Flex. And now in just a 2-week period, he's got like five people he's working. And so, so I find that people will kind of go in and out. And a lot of it just depends on, like, I mean, you will get, like, you'll get exhausted from it. And so the way I like, especially with new agents, I like to build pipelines with Zillow Flex leads. So go all in for the first, really 3 months, like hammer out leads on Flex. And then based on that pipeline and where they're at and what their comfort level is, then I might say, all right, let's pause for a couple of weeks. Let's catch your breath. And then maybe go in, like, maybe it's an every other week thing, or maybe you're 1 month on, 1 month off, just based on pipeline. But I find that people kind of go in that roller coaster. and it's hard to have somebody go, all out for like a year straight. So, but I really do play it based on the person, and it's based on their goals. I've got some folks that want to do, like, I'm in a market that our average price range is 300,000. So, I've got folks that want to do 5 million. I've got folks that want to do 10 million. Got folks that want to do 15 million. Well, the way I coach them is going to be different between the 5 and the $15 million person. And so, for us, I'm going to be, a lot of it depends on those goals, and then holding people accountable and just knowing where they're at as far as their pipeline is, and where they're at year to date in closings, and then pushing people based on that.
You said something interesting. You said that, not your phraseology, but basically it'll wear you out if you're.
You'll get burnout for sure.
Is that because people, the agents are not doing everything they could to convert the leads well? Is it because just the nature of these leads, they are going to run you ragged and make you go through your paces before they sign on to a buyer rep agreement, if they do that at all? Why do you say it'll run you ragged?
Yeah. I mean, I think most agents are good at very low hanging fruit. I think where agents have a hard time is long-term follow-up. And agents really, it is a rare thing for an agent to have a long-term follow-up, really good game plan that they're actually following, in my opinion. Some are a lot better than others. I think really where the burnout does come in is if you get a good run of people in a row that just, they want to see a bunch of houses, never want to make a decision, or, sometimes, you'll go show them a bunch of houses and then they'll go work with another agent or go buy new construction without you. That will burn you out. So, you can get a lot of leads. We're probably one of the lucky teams that has a plethora of opportunities. And so, once you fit, 10, 15, 20 leads in a month, that adds up, and especially over a 3-6 month period. So you can knock out the low hanging fruit, but that long-term follow-up, it can be a little bit more difficult. So every agent is different at what they can truly follow up on. I think realistically, a true follow-up, I think people can do probably 50 to 75 leads truly on a follow-up. I think when you go above that, it is very difficult.
About a bunch of cherry picking, then, really.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think most people should take the mindset of just do a great job for each lead that comes in. Because if you do a great job for that lead, you're going to get referrals from it. You're going to get repeat business from it. I think a lot of times we look at the commission, or we look at the referral fee and all of that comes with it, and like, what is our bottom line? I think really the bottom line needs to be, let me provide a great customer service experience. And if you focus on that, everything else will kind of fall into place.
Many of the team leaders and even some of the agents that I've talked to on these teams have referred to Zillow Flex leads as a marginally profitable way to build your past client database. Is that your experience from what you just said? Yeah,
I would agree. You got to think that this company's spending millions of dollars to generate opportunities. I think of Zillow as the Google of real estate, and you can either decide to partner with them or not. And if you do partner with them, yes, you have a partner, as in a referral partner, and you've got to pay them, but they are stacking you with a huge database, or the possibility of a huge database. So you've just got to understand, like, some of these folks are going to move quick. They're going to buy a house within a week. I think the average, probably at least in our market, is about 4 months. But the good news is some of these don't transact for 2 and 3 years. And if you're actually following up and they close 2 years afterwards, you might not have to pay a referral fee. So, I think, again, people have got to focus on just providing that experience and just continuing to do the follow-up on those deals. But yeah, it's a great way to build a database. And especially if you're not the person that's going out there and networking like crazy, or if you're the person that moves to a new place and doesn't have contacts, like this is a perfect thing to work. Like if you've got some sort of sales or customer service background, man, it's perfect. But if you've got a huge book of business, you've got people calling you, and maybe you don't want to deal with the flex and you don't have to deal with the referral fees and those kind of things. But I mean, most people, even with a big database, want access to more leads.
I'll just ask you. So as you said, about 90 days, we're going to go from weekly to every other week. What's the indicator that you go from, every other week to monthly? What are you looking for there to know, okay, I can kind of let go of the back seat of the bike?
Yeah. It's just going to be, are they following up properly? Do they have a good gauge on their pipeline? And then just literally asking them, can you handle more? Some people will just say, I just can't right now. And then, all right, well, let's check in 2 weeks and see where you're at right now. So just asking, hey, can you handle more leads? I mean, hopefully they're going to be honest with you and be like, no, I can't handle any more leads. And then you've got the ones that, you can tell the ones that are cherry picking. Just like, give me all the leads, and then they're only converting at a 2.5% to 3% level. Those are your cherry pickers.
And I haven't asked a lot of the team leaders about the seller leads, but I'm curious. The buyer leads, they don't want an agent; they want to see a house. But these seller leads, do you find that that's different? Do you find that they actually want to talk to an agent, or that really they're just looking for a CMA?
I think it depends. I mean, there's some folks that just want value. There's some folks that really do want their options. I find that it leans more towards a cash offer. And so if you've got, let's say, we'll throw an open door out there, and maybe you've got 3 or 4 local investors, or maybe you yourself are an investor, and maybe you can utilize that as an option. I find that they're looking for an offer on their house, and it's going to open door no matter what. But just coming up with some different solutions. And so, but I think that those are a little bit longer term follow up than probably Zillow thinks. So they're probably a good 3, 6, 9 months out, instead of like your immediate, hey, we're going to market. So it's really going to depend on, you gotta jump on it, try to get in front of them. And then it's going to be a really good nurture process to try to get it on the market. And so like anything, like if you're staying in front of folks, the ability to convert is going to be a lot higher. And I think you've got to really do a good job on the seller flex ones, for at least the ones that really will do something. Because there are some, just like buyers, you got a bunch of buyers that are looky-loos, where you got sellers that just want to, hey, if somebody gave me this for the house, I'd sell it.
Yeah.
You gotta sniff through all that.
Forgive me for not knowing. I've not been a Zillow agent before. What are they literally clicking on in order to register as a seller lead? Is it learn what my home is worth, or talk to an agent, or
Cash offer?
Is that what they're clicking on? Is a cash offer? Okay. So in that case, that's going to be a different orientation to the lead. So
and then there's a follow up on it. All right, we're going to get you connected with Open Door for a cash offer, possibly. Or, if you want to net more money, you can partner with a Zillow Premier agent. And, oh, by the way, you'll get a showcase listing with that, which I think showcase listings are nice. And, but they also, like on Flex, you get one for free. So that's nice. But I think the pool is the cash offer. But then, once they pull that curtain back, it's like, all right, you can get a cash offer, and here's what Open Door will say, or you need to have a conversation with Zillow Premier agent, and this person is Gusty Gulas.
Okay. And are these sellers, are they going to the kitchen table with them, or is it 9 times out of 10 just phone conversation? What's the
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. we're definitely not 9 times out of 10 in front of them. I mean, I think you'd probably be doing good to get in front of a fourth of them
Okay.
realistically. And then I think if you can, now you can probably convert half. If you can get in front of them, you can probably convert. A skilled listing person can probably convert, I would say 50% of
That's
that.
pretty good conversion, actually.
I think so. I mean, I think if you're bringing options, right? You know, if you can maybe have some local investors that maybe want to bring an offer in, or you can say, all right, well, you know, it also depends on how, you know, what is your listing presentation and marketing presentation is. I mean, typically it's probably going to be pretty good for you to be even involved in the Flex program. I mean, you've got to be top level to be in that program. So can you do that? Can you share that marketing presentation in a you know, high manner where you can convert at a high level? So you know, I mean, they will go to market. They just might be 6, 9, 12 months out.
Is there an ALM equivalent type of script where they're metricing? Did you ask for the appointment in the first 60 seconds and all that on the seller side?
Yeah, there's metrics that are involved on the seller side as well.
Okay. Is it similar to or is it?
Yeah,
marketing?
I mean, it's the appointment sets, the appointment mets, listing agreements. You know, yeah, I mean, there's metrics that are comparable on the buy side, for sure.
All right. And when it comes to closing those to get to the kitchen table, what's the general scripting around that? How are we doing that?
It's just talking about different options. Hey, it looks like, you know, you're looking at your different options of selling your home. It looks like, you know, you might be interested in a cash offer. You might be interested in, you know, just netting more money, maybe going to market with a professional realtor. You know, my job is to come out and meet with you and identify different options and see how we can best be of service to you. Are you available tomorrow at 3:00?
Okay.
So we're assuming that we're going to meet. Now, some people are, you know, hey, wait, you know.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
You know, I think a lot of it is, I think if you can provide options, I think they're looking for options.
Okay.
And so if you can provide those options, I think that you can convert at a higher level.
In our final few minutes here, I'm curious, is there something about running a Zillow Flex team that I didn't ask you about or we didn't go deep enough into that you think is really important for other team leaders to know?
You know, I think you definitely have to be in tune with your agents and those leads. And you know, I think, like, for me personally, I really want my Zillow Flex business to be 25% of my business or less max. Just because, I mean, ultimately, yes, we have the referral fee, and so we're netting less per deal, but it's a volume thing. And whether, you know, you're a team leader or you're an agent on a team, like, you got to look at it from a volume standpoint and think about all the referrals that, if you do a great job for those folks, you can get the referrals, you know, that you don't have to pay referral fees on. Or you might find an investor, like we've had an investor that's already bought 9 houses with us this year. But we only had to pay referral fees on 2 of those. So, you know, that's the nice part about it. So I think you've got to overcome, I think the biggest thing, whether you're a team lead or an agent, is just overcoming the referral fee. And I think you just got to get out of that mindset, like, hey, be thankful for the business, be thankful for the opportunity, focus on providing a great experience, and everything else will fall in place and money will come.
Amen. All right, man. Thank you for doing this.